Hello and welcome. So we're going to go through a brief explanation of Hitchcock alphabets of shots. I'm going to try and do it as fast as I can. A lot of people have different names for it. It doesn't really matter as long as you and your DP knows or your writer knows if they write shots in their script. Some do, some don't. Doesn't really matter as long as you're not confusing. And as long as everybody's on the same page, that's the whole point. So, what color should I do this in? Still there. All right. Okay, well, all right. We'll start wide and we'll go closer and closer and closer and closer. How about that? All right. So, they used to call this a long shot. And it doesn't matter as long as you understand. Guess what this is? Center frame. Put a center frame. Oh, we should make it goth. There you go. That makes it goth. We're goth now. We're in goth territory. See how I just gave this depth? That's something else I want to talk to you about, but not right now. We'll do it later. I promise everything later. I'll show you later, you know. I'm back on track. Number one. Back in the golden age of Hollywood, from the 30s and 40s and 50s, it would have been called a long shot. I call it a wide full shot, like that. So you got a wide full shot or a long shot. It's fine. Usually shot on a 35, like that. Nice and wide, you get everything. You get trees, right? You get dumb bushes. You get like the foreground, you know. You kids are leaving your bikes on the lawn. It's everything. As much as you can get within the shot. It is a wide shot. Sometimes also known or used primarily for a establishing shot. Establishing. How do you spell shot again? Number two, we're going to go to a full shot. We'll use the same exact whatever. Door. Don't forget that goth window. I am goth woman, hear me roar, and I something sore. That is a full shot. That's not everything, but it's just a full shot of the object that you want. So it is a FS, full shot. It is the full shot of what you want. It doesn't only have to be a house either. It can also be a person. It's a full shot, otherwise known as a clean single, but that's still a full shot, right? I don't consider this a clean single, but since there's only him in the screen, you can consider it a clean single. Or this is also a full shot. It doesn't matter how close you get with it. It could be closer and closer and closer as long as it's the actual full framed object. So in other words, it would be a full shot of what you wanted to emphasize. 2 shot, 3 shots, they're all pretty much the same, 4 shots, etc. But they're usually framed like so. Different variations of that. So that would be a 3 shot. And you can frame, as long as it's, as long as it's not full and you see their feet, so it wouldn't be a full 3 shot. Basically, it would be anywhere from, knee high up. This would be their knees. Way 4 shot here. Just to show it doesn't matter. Just have some, and I'm running out of marker already. Can't believe this. And there's like a 4 shot, etc. I think the limit until it becomes like a crowd is when there's a lot of things happening and no one's actually talking. What's really important is that it's understandable and that the communication between you and your DP or your camera operator knows what you're talking about, the common language of the type of shot that the director wants. And there is no right or wrong as long as that communication is on the same level. OTS shot. This is the most common shot that's used in every program, every film. It's pretty much it. You don't see it in very many paintings, you know. And it's simple like this. We'll go to the weaker position, usually looking at the power position, like that. That is an OTS. So OTS, which stands for, of course, over the shoulder. There's variations of this. Depends how angled you want to get on it, how personal, how much of the face you want to catch of the other person. There's a tighter variation of it. You get the idea, I think. Sometimes you want the same sort of OTS, you know, you can pull back, you can catch the shoulder. So it's just literally like you don't even get the head and you're just catching a shoulder. So you just have it like that. You can even do whatever you want, like so. As you can see, the back of his head, as you can tell by the nose direction, and front. So we're basically on the guy who's on the left. And the reverse of this, of course, would just be like that. So the person who was on the left stays on the left in the reverse over the shoulder. Actually, something I should probably just get out of the way right now is understanding the eye line of your frame. You don't want to jump the line. And I can make a whole nother segment about what the line is. But essentially, you want whichever way somebody is looking to be looking that same direction within the frame, no matter what, regardless of what the shot is, unless something causes the frame to jump the line. Let me give you an example. Okay, that's a line, right? Always think of it like this in terms of OTS. Okay, so you have the guy who was on the right here, and you can have the guy who was on the left right here. So the camera, in theory, would be right there. So the camera's right there, so it's grabbing him on the left, and it's grabbing him on the right. Now the flip side of that would be like that. So you see the camera is on this side of the line, the right side of the line the entire time. So no matter what, he is always on the left side of frame. It may be kind of hard to imagine, but if you ever look at any shots, you'll see that the reversal of it is always the character who's on the left will remain on the left. You want to always be on the same side of the line, unless there's something that comes over here that establishes him on both sides. So then you have 360 degrees to work with, and you don't have to worry about the line anymore. You have to reestablish the line at some point. So you understand now, if the blue is the frame, this is the guy on the left, right? We're in one shot in the OTS where he's in the midground. You have your background, you know, back here. So he's the midground, he's the foreground. Now he's in the foreground, and he is in the midground with your background here. So right is right, left is left. The reason for this, if you put him on the left and then all of a sudden put him on the right, it jumps the eyes. It makes you feel as though startled. And a lot of bad films do it. Situations where they'll shoot something where maybe two guys are talking and a car will drive by this way. Then all of a sudden they'll turn around. Then suddenly it'll immediately cut to something like this. And the car is going the opposite direction now, which is very disorienting. First it was going, you know, camera right to left. Now it's going camera left to right, and it makes you jump. If you watch any John Ford film, Orson Welles film, or any master filmmaker, you'll see that they specialize and they understand eye line very well in their blocking. And that's how they are able to masterfully pull off the types of scenes and shots that they are. That is basically eye line and the OTS. Okay, now we'll do a, we'll just move into a cowboy. A cowboy is just basically like this, right? And you have the person. You've got his scarf, 10-gallon hat. I drew him a little too high, but either way. The thing is that you don't see his feet. In a cowboy shot, or it's otherwise, in other countries, it's actually known, it's not as the cowboy, believe it or not. It's called it's called an American, which I thought was funny. I was shooting kind of a neo-Western in the UK. All right then, give me an American. American, what are you talking about? Oh, that's a cowboy, right? And the reason is because it emphasizes the guns, and the guns, they hang down low, and those nickel and dime westerns, John Wayne and Robert Mitchum and all those cowboys who got on these things, and I'm more fancy too. I'm partial to Ernest Borgnine, yeah. You got them quad ×3 shooters, you know, the 6 shooters on the side. That's why they would call it a cowboy or an American, and that's it. You don't have to have a cowboy in order to get the shot. You can do it with anything that you want. But if you pay attention, you know, it's like, go ahead, Pilgrim, because they want to see the guns. You could even move in a little bit to where it's like right here. The bottom of the frame is right here, and it would still be a cowboy. The point is the guns. They want the guns. Medium shot. You just take the thing, we're just pushing in. That's all we're doing, just push in, right? It's from the waist up. So, always start with the head. Give them a nice little headroom right here, about 2 inches, you know? Unless you're Stanley Kubrick, and then we can do a Stanley Kubrick medium shot that I'm sure you have all seen and loved. All of his films have at least about a foot of headroom, except for Barry Lyndon, which is his masterpiece. But either way, aside from that, opinionated stuff, this is a medium shot. So it doesn't matter how much depth or headroom or side room you give it. A medium shot is waist down. That's it. MS. All right? And you can make variations of these, which is my personal favorite. M2S, right? So it's 2 dudes. Hey man, what are you doing with my girlfriend? What are you doing with my friend's girlfriend? Or you can do, these aren't separate shots by the way, these are all just variations of the medium shot. So you can do a medium 3 shot, like that, right? Where, guess what that has? That has a third person. Well, maybe we'll have him look the other way. You notice that? There we go. He's looking the other way. He doesn't know what the fuck's going on. So they're all looking there. Maybe they're approaching this way. Didn't they look like that? Like, yeah, that's right. We're gonna sing. This is, if you turn this, if you just angle this a little bit and you make it into an OTS, this is the over the shoulder. This immediately becomes, which is a different shot. OTS medium 3 shot or medium 3 or whatever you are. OTS. What is this? What is this? Where have you seen this all the time? Usually these guys are a little bit over here on the side of the frame, right? Did you guess it? It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. They always use the over the shoulder medium 3 shot. Number 6. That was stupid. We'll go into a medium close-up. Medium close-up is elbows up. Okay? So let's just say he has a t-shirt on. Why does it always have to be a he? Why couldn't it be a she? Okay, she has a t-shirt on. Whatever. A lot of headroom. Why does she have to have long hair? Okay, we won't give her long hair. We'll give her curly hair. Why do you gotta make her look like a nerd? Let's say she's from Montana. So she's got like some weird things going on. What are those things called? I don't know what they're called, but they're like on the girl with the puffy shoulder crap that's up there. You know what I mean? Little flowers in there, maybe like a button. Come on, one of you guys knows the answer. Am I the only fan of Little House on the Prairie? This is a medium close-up. MCU, medium close-up. Okay, we go from the medium close-up to the close-up. Look at that beautiful head. Beautiful alien head. That's all you need, though. That's all you need. What's the most important thing is the nose. Just tell me right now, in this close-up, where is he looking? Is that the back of this person's head? I'm the production manager, and I got a hold of your storyboard somehow. I can't make heads or tails of it. Is he wearing a space helmet? What's going on here? Like, what is this? What's going on? Is he bald in the back? And then the director comes in and goes, oh, God, why don't you get it? Like, seriously, he's looking over there to the left. Even more so, this is a profile shot. You can draw eyes if you wanted to. Doesn't matter. It's always with the nose. If you leave it like that, it's the back of his head. But it's still a close-up, right? And then he would turn it around. He would turn and be like, say what? His body wouldn't even turn, just his head. Okay. 8 is the choker. I don't like the choker. I'm not a fan of the choker. The choker is usually just neck up. That's all it is. That's a choker. Choking the head. That's all it is. Look at that hairdo. Don't you want me, baby? Extreme close-up, right? Extreme close-up, yeah. Basically the whole, it could be anything. Because the choker, you could push in on that where you just get like the chin, you know what I mean? You could be very tight with a choker, where like the nose is right here, and like this would still be a choker as long as you caught the neck, like a little bit, right? Even if it's just a little bit. Extreme close-up, you guys already know what that is. If you're getting the real details of, there you go, it's extreme close-up. It can go even tighter. Still in ECU. ECU can go even tighter than that. Go tighter than that. Go tighter than that, and go tighter and tighter. I mean, I'll give you a David Lynch extreme close-up. Krzysztof Kieslowski close-up. Where I seriously doubt that's where David Lynch, I mean, it's just a camera shot, for crying out loud. We'll draw some beautiful, my favorite David Lynch film. And he has a close-up of just these amazing Patricia Arquette lips, right? With the phone. There's somebody watching us. These are lips. Your basic POV. Your basic POV would be of someone turning to look, and what they look at is their POV. Maybe they're looking at a window, like that. Maybe they're looking at somebody else in a window somewhere else across the street, looking back at them, and this is their POV. So you would cut back to the previous shot that we had. Maybe you would cut back to a non-profile shot and an even tighter lens because he's more interested now in what's going on. And he's like, you know, what the fuck? What is that guy looking at me for? The tricky thing about a POV too is that it could be anything. You can start on a POV and then you can cut to somebody looking. You don't have to start with somebody looking like I had done it. You can actually start with the POV and then come to somebody looking, maybe driving, anything. As long as it matches up. So in other words, like if you had a road and we're moving down through the windshield, it's a shot through the windshield of the car, and we don't see the windshield, we just see the road, and then we cut to the driver. Obviously, this is his POV. The POV is something that is pretty self-explanatory, actually, but it's what the character or any character is looking at. It could be multiple characters. But usually it is one character specifically. Okay, that's the Hitchcock alphabet. And that's it.